Good morning and welcome to the morning show with Angel and Tina and the guests in our virtual studios, their remote studios, their traveling studios. What a fun day we are going to have today. Tina, how are you doing? Happy Friday, girl.
It is Friday. We are so sorry that we didn't get on yesterday. Angel was on location in Denver at an event that the Wi-Fi was so bad. So we just decided to put an oldie but goodie on. So we hope you guys watched it. I forgot which one I put on. Oh, I think I put on Kimberly Olsen, the Gold Digger.
Oh, the gold digger, right? Not gold, but the gold digger. I love her name.
We took one of her quotes and we ran with it like for 2 months. So we ran with the quote, become obsessed with what you want.
And we did. She said that, and I just latched onto it. Tina made me a water mug, a water bottle mug, a travel mug that said "Become obsessed," and we have been, and it has totally been a game changer because you get what you think about most. Well, yesterday was an amazing day. For 2.5 years, I've been traveling and speaking across the country, and of course, in March, all of that came to a halt, and we haven't done a live event since February when we were in Miami. But several of us came together yesterday in Denver, Colorado, and did an untested live / virtual, an in-person / virtual expo.
Did you kind of like slide right back in, or did you kind of like?
It was a little clunky being on stage and speaking, and trying to do manage both the in-person crowd and crowd's not the right word, but the in-person audience and the online audience. But you know what? I think I was just really proud of the fact that we tried it. We tested it. It's, instead of sitting back and, worrying and waiting, that it was innovative. And here we are being, again, those first responders, those business first runners. I don't think the crowd is ready for it. I don't think the audience is ready for that.
I don't think so either. But what? As a speaker, and I know you are doing the same thing. When you take your 60-minute talk and you turn it into something like that's virtual, right? So, as you guys know, Angel and I started the Connect Summit 8 months ago, and we have our next Connect Summit coming up on October 6th. But we both had a 60-minute talk. And we started doing our 60-minute talk virtually. And our 60-minute talk turned into a 30-minute talk because we didn't have any audience participation. Are you guys having the same thing? Like your 60-minute talk turns into like a 20-minute talk without the audience asking questions?
It's different because of the online attention span and the state or the group interaction that happens in a room. So yeah, it was a little clunky, but we got through it. Well, let's welcome our fabulous virtual guest today. Shay Brown, how are you doing?
What's going on, Angel? It's a great day, Tina, to be in the house. If you're out there watching, you're one of the virtual audience, do your hand like this. You can still participate, baby. You can be part of the action and the energy up in here.
In the house. Shay, I think you need to change your profession to be a DJ, because you're total DJ rocking, chicka chicka chicka.
Well, I'm a DJ in my life. That's enough by itself. So I get to play a song.
Won the Mic Drop Award on the Angel and Tina Morning Show Awards when we brought back our 100 guests or our 200 guests to celebrate our 100th episode. Shay Brown, by landslide, the Mic Drop Award, and he should be. He is like our resident DJ. We also have Sean Callagy. He's in the car. Sean, are you able to join us? Say hello to the fine folks out in the Angel and Tina world.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Awesome. So good morning, everybody. Super thrilled to be here.
Hear you.
Loving Shay's DJ voice, rocking the room. Very grateful to be here as I leave the epic surf morning of Long Beach Island, New Jersey, and really looking forward to getting to know everybody. Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Shay, where are you coming in from?
I'm coming in from Washington, D.C. We're not a state, but we're the capital here in the United States of America. By the way, we pay more taxes than 13 states, but we don't get to vote. But I'm here in Washington, D.C. Happy to be here. Native Washingtonian, by the way.
You know, for the longest time when I was younger, I thought Washington, D.C. was a state for the longest time.
Right. No state can't vote, no representation. It's like the craziest thing you ever heard of, even during my lifetime. It's like totally
you
amazing.
Can't vote in Washington, D.C.?
No, our vote doesn't count. Doesn't really count. We can vote for our local mayor, and we can vote for our local council members, but still the House and the Senate controls really what happens here in the District of Columbia. But we're going to still fight for voter rights. We're going to still do that. DC, no taxation without representation. We're still fighting for that.
Angel, did you know that?
I did not know that. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that either. I'm thinking, am I just dumb?
No.
How is that okay? How is that okay? Like that. So on November 3rd, you're not part of. Are there only
we vote. I mean, we get to vote, but it doesn't really count. Like, you know, I think we get like maybe one electoral vote, if that. And you know.
Okay. Really I get it. Okay. All right. Okay. Electoral vote. Oh, that makes sense. I'm like, wait a minute. They don't let you vote?
Remember, there is no senator that represents us that gets a vote. There's no House representatives that gets a vote.
Yeah.
So there is no vote.
So there is no vote. Okay. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. That's
so weird.
Weird to think about. It is really weird to think about.
It's weird. It's weird when you pay as much taxes as you pay. It gets even more weirder. Don't worry about that. It's not like we get to withhold our taxes. You know, they still tax you. You know, but that's okay. That's a topic for another time. I know we're here for something different, but still, I always have to mention that. We don't get the.
Oh, well, it's good. It's good you mentioned it. I learned something new today, Mr. Shea Brown.
Then I'm done.
Something new every day on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. It is like so we always call ourselves the Good Morning America for all these authors and speakers and podcast guests, but I think we learn something new every single day.
We do. All right. Well, let's talk about what exciting projects you guys have been working on. Sean, tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you've been working on the last few months.
Yeah, so I have a small vision of building the greatest personal development platform on earth, and things are going quite well. We just came out of our elite training weekend, and we had some straight up lunatics that were surfing in the ocean in hurricane conditions, going to water at night. I'm blind. We had 3 amazing blind people out of the 60 people in this elite weekend. It was completely crazy. We launched with our first event in January, pre-COVID, with 1,500 folks. And we're bringing influence to the world as a superpower. And there's all kinds of claims and hyperbole that exist in the world. And I think at its simplest, in a heart-centered, loving way, I put out a $250,000 bet for charity that I cannot be out-influenced on a neutral set of facts, because we have a formula and a mechanism for how people have people listen to, hear their message, accept it in their heart, and act upon it. And incredibly good people like yourself, Tina, Angel, Shay, the whole world. It's like, how do we get our message out there? Seen, heard, accepted. How do we galvanize and actually create a movement? How do we not have fake Instagram followers? How do we have things that matter in the world? And that's what I'm standing for. So that's kind of what I'm up to.
I'm still kind of blown away by the people surfing at nighttime when they're stupid, when there's sharks in the ocean.
Well, I will tell you, Tina, I was bumped by a shark 4 weeks ago in the Atlantic Ocean. And not only that, we played Jaws music before we hit the water. And Jaws was
manifested it.
Yes. And Jaws, check this out. Jaws was happened, inspired on Long Beach Island, where I have a couple of my beach houses. So 1916 shark attack, right? Person was killed a mile from where we were in the ocean. And then a few days later, some other people were killed up the beach. It's an amazing Discovery Channel episode. A lot of people think that Jaws originated up in Cape Cod. Jaws was inspired by it happened 104 years ago in Long Beach Island. We recreated the dynamic, scared the heck out of everybody, had them face their fears of rejection, failure, burnt it in bonfires afterwards. But more importantly, had incredible content all weekend long with our leadership. So,
my God, you were bumped by a shark? Okay. I would never go into the water again.
She's never going to the water. So, Sean, the connection, because I was like, okay, what's the connection to having this heart-centered message and getting all of this out and diving with sharks in night, or swimming or with sharks at night? It's the facing the fears. Was that the connection?
Yeah, I think there's only 2 fundamental fears. I think people have fear of failure because we have a primal brain that wants us to survive, and we're afraid to expend resources. The 3 resources we have are money, time, and energy. And the reason most people horizontally innovate, meaning they jump from thing to thing, project to project, podcast to podcast, personal development platform to personal development platform, is because they're afraid of wasting more money, time, and energy, as opposed to vertically innovating, like with small distinctions that create the difference. And the reason most people also don't do the things they want to do is because they have like this crazy concept that an idea like rejection actually exists, which of course it doesn't exist. Like there is no rejection. It's an invented and made up story that we tell ourselves about interactions we have with other people. So the idea, this was a metaphor, right, for the destruction of our fear of rejection and failure. And so we could actually apply all the content we were learning all weekend long. Yeah.
Don, did you put that shark in the ocean?
I did not put that shark in the ocean. I mean, sharks.
You cannot do that again. There is no way that you can do that whole entire thing and have a shark right there at the same exact time when you need it. When you're
oh no, listen, I mean, there's sharks all over the ocean. Of course, most of us don't realize that. I've had the privilege of taking my 3 wonderful children since they were 10 years old. They've been shark diving, and straight up yesterday, same location, I had a dolphin jump out of the water 15 feet from me while I was surfing. Most people have no idea how beautiful New Jersey is, and I felt blessed and privileged for that moment. It's like dead, flat, calm, super quiet, just like clean, rolling, breaking waves. A dolphin rockets out of the water, jumps out, and there were witnesses, so I'm not making this up. It was unreal. Scared the heck out of me, right? Because I thought it was like a shark when it first broke the water, but it was a dolphin. So yeah, I love adventure. I love life. And again, I am blind, and standing for the idea that blind people can be wildly productive and make incredible things happen in the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you've tapped into obviously Tina's fear. She's over there, I think, shaking in her boots.
You guys all know about my fear of sharks. I mean,
but this is what an amazing opportunity, Sean, and the experience and the bond that you have with these 60 people will never leave them. Like this is something you've impacted absolutely into their life for forever. Wow. I'm just wow.
You know what?
I'm so excited you're here. And
thank you. But can I say this, Angel and Tina? You know, like people, we have 3 levels of connection. We have surface connection. We have like real connection. We're having a conversation, you know, about something that kind of matters, right, to us. And then we have emotional connection. And the way that change actually happens, and you know, the 1980 U.S. Olympic team wins the gold medal. How Tom Brady wins Super Bowl after Super Bowl, beating the crud out of teams like the Jets, who I love, right? Why these things happen, where bands like Bruce Springsteen, Lee Street Band, the Rolling Stones, they stay together, right? Because they find a rhythm, a flow, a deeper connection together to create epic outcomes in whatever they're seeking. And so when people connect emotionally and go through extreme experiences together, it creates a completely different bond.
Oh, wow. All right, Shay, have you ever swam with sharks?
No, I have not. I've got a lot of fears. And one fear that I have to get over is the fear of being in the water with shark. When I was in Hawaii 2 years ago, I did my first scuba diving, and I went into the water, and I asked several times if there's gonna be any sharks out there. And I know there's probably none. You probably know that already where I was at, but no, I have a fear.
I have a fear of that too.
I mean, I can see it on Tina. Like Tina is visibly shaken by the concept and the idea that Sean was that close to a shark just recently. Okay, so what do you guys think about what Sean just said? There's no such thing as rejection. That's a pretty powerful statement, because when you think about it, you're right. Like we have an absolute fear of rejection, you know, picking up the phone, making contacts, you know, failing of, you know, trying something and somebody else telling us no. Like that, I think for us is definitely a story that most people tell themselves. So I don't know. What do you think about that, Shay?
You know, I agree with Sean. There's probably is no fear of rejection. One of the things we talk about, I think there's a concept out there called rejection therapy. And one of the things, when you have that fear, then you're probably making it all about you and not about someone else. So, you know, when you feel rejected and you feel down, you're bringing those feelings on you and you're self-projecting on someone else. So, you know, I don't think there is really, like you said, a quote unquote, a fear of rejection. I think we create it in our mindset. And there's two things that we control every day. We control our mindset, we control our action. So one of the things I admire about Sean is Sean's out there controlling his mindset because he's jumping in the water. I haven't figured out how to do that yet, to go to the sharks. And he's also controlling his action because he's doing it and he's overcoming it. And he's showing that if I can do it and do it safely, so can you. And isn't that a metaphor for what we can use in life as well? If someone else has done it, and someone else has the blueprint, and there's an old truism. I think it's so true, but it's sometimes there's truth inside of truisms, is that success leaves clues. So I admire you, Sean. I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, but through the power of these fiber optic lines, I'm meeting you right now, man. And I'm gonna have to sign up for the next one. I'm gonna jump out of a plane, and even though I have my AARP card now, I'm gonna jump out of a plane so I can certainly go down into shark water. I may do this thing, Tina. I might make this declaration right now. I may do this thing. I may do it.
No, I mean, you can do that, Shay.
No, seriously, I'm gonna jump out of a plane, so I may go down to the belly of the sharks. Now I got to understand, how he does this thing. By the way, I'm sure.
Will you do this without medication?
But can I say this, Shay, Tina, Angel, everybody, Shay, you have such courage because you came on fire, man. You came on fire into this environment, and you transferred so much energy from your heart, from inside of you, to everybody here, including me. Thank you. And most people are afraid to do that because they're like, what are people going to think of me? What if it doesn't land the right way? So you are radically living even more courageously. You faced more risk by doing this than jumping in the ocean where there might be sharks. By doing what you did today as a leader, and most people would never do that. So you are you're living that way. You're leading by example of going out there, having no fear of rejection, or at least facing it tremendously. So that's what this is all about. So I'm inspired by you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And I want to make sure that you guys are there when I jump in that water too. So Sean, you're coming down there with me.
Well, I met Sean. I was invited. He hosts a, I think it's, do you do it daily or is that a weekly episode,
No.
Sean?
We're doing it daily, and you were amazing on Angel. Amazing. We do it daily.
Wow.
Well, he puts together a program every single day, inviting a couple of guests on to be contestants and to be judges, in order to connect authentically with people that you've never met before, and to get to that connection quickly. And I was very nervous about and it was live, and it was in person, and it was spontaneous, and you couldn't prep. You just had to show up and do you. And it was you. So you walk this walk. You teach people to step out of their comfort zone and to step into who they are and live authentically every single day on this live episode. So tell me a little bit about how that came to be a thing.
Yeah, no, thank you. We're at episode 220, and we've had more than 1,500 people participate at this point. And it's best-selling authors, TV personalities, online personalities, accountants, leading accountants, attorneys, all kinds of different folks. And so we entered COVID, and we said, I said, listen, we can rock it from the stage like you guys can. And so, but what do we do now that live events are not happening? How do we continue this mission forward? I also own a law firm with, about 125 folks, and same thing for the team that works for me. It was like, what do we do? We use speaking as a major platform of acceleration, as all you fine folks know. And so I said, we're going to invent our own platform, but we're not just going to, do it the way that a lot of other folks are doing it. We're going to have something that's like American Idol meets Shark Tank meets like Harvard Business School meets fun, like dance party, right? And we're going to hang out and get to know each, maybe not fun dance party, but fun lunch, fun dinner with amazing people. So we have the Real Raw, which is our version of TED. And then we have something that's like TEDx called the Real Raw Open. And we're partnering with people all over the place to expand that. And so it's free to use it, free for everybody. And we've created this amazing platform and feel super blessed. And we have judges that are on there. So we have folks that think they're channeling their inner Simon Cowell and giving harsher feedback. We have super heart-centered folks. And that openness and vulnerability creates an acceleration for relationship. And so that was the genesis. It started in the late March when COVID hit, shut down New Jersey. And we've been rocking ever since. And we're now doing 3 episodes a day. We're moving towards 4 and 5 episodes a day. And a year from now, I see this being 100 episodes a day happening with partners all over the country and the world. And that's where we're at.
That's ambitious. Wow, that is so ambitious. I am impressed. You know, we're doing one episode here and multiples is impressive and where you're getting. Okay, so Shay Brown, tell us what you have been working on the last couple of months and bringing to the table.
Sure. I mean, one things that we're working on is that we recognize there's folks out there right now that have had some challenges. They've been through either a setback or maybe they're just living right now and they're breathing through this global pandemic we're going through right now. And it's no longer about the global pandemic. It's about the chaos that is caused in their life or caused in their business. But they hold the belief that a comeback is always much stronger than the setback. And so what I did is I said to myself, Shay Brown, you don't have all the answers. There's probably some other colleagues out there that have the answers that we could bring together to put on not just a summit, but to share the best ideas, to share the insider secrets, and to really share the methodologies that folks can use not to come back, but really to be a champion in their life or a champion in their business or a champion in their sales or a champion in their marketing and do the things they want to do so they can do more, have more, and be more. And so we're putting on something called the Comeback Champion Summit, which I'm really excited about. It's open to the public. So here's the good news. There's no Cash App needed. Here's the better news. There's no credit card needed. What is needed is just a heart to serve and a heart to give and show up. So we're really excited about that, Angel and Tina. The number one mission of that is to inspire others to success. But then after they're inspired, after they're motivated, after they feel pumped up, we don't just leave them there, because that's how they were back on December 31st after a couple of drinks, after back on the back of a napkin, and they're writing down their goals. They were ready to go, but that they have the systems in place. Now, I'll turn it back over to you, Tina, but one of the things I love to share, one of my core philosophies is that systems beat goals every single time. So I brought together the best folks that can share their systems that help you not just achieve your goals, but something you can do on a daily basis that develops discipline that allows you to be consistent. So Comeback Champion Summit is out there.com for the entrepreneur, for the speaker, for the author, for the coach, for the trainer, for the single mom, single dad, married person. The person is out there that knows that they have the potential inside of them to perform at a much higher level. And not only do they know that, but they're willing to do something about it. So all you got to do is show up. And then we're going to have the team show out. And I promise you, you'll get there faster with less effort.
What a duo. What a duo to have Shay and Sean here today, right? Talking about the comebacks and overcoming your fear. And there's no such thing as rejection. And right. And what you two are both putting out and giving back. What do you say? You say outgivers?
Yeah, we believe.
Oh.
We believe in the giver's economy. The giver's economy. The giver economy says the person outgives the competition, outserves the competition. The person outgives the competition, outserves the competition. So every one of the folks who raised their hand and said, I'm there, Shay, I'm willing to show up and share my story, share my message, share my expertise. They're there to do two things: serve and add value. And that's it. And isn't that a good place to be in? Isn't that a good space? So we're going to outgive the competition. We're going to give as much as we possibly can so that we can serve other folks. And isn't that why you got in business? If you're an entrepreneur, when you go back and check the box at the end of the day, you knew there was a problem that existed on the planet. And you said, I'm going to solve that problem, whether I'm paid or not. Now, when you became an enterprise, I understand you got to be profitable. But initially, somewhere in your heart, you said, they've got a problem. I'm the Tylenol. Let me take care of that headache, and I'm ready to go. And so that's what we're doing with the Comeback Champion Summit. It's not our business model, but we want to do something during this time with 75 days to go. Today marks 98 days. Well, it depends on when you're watching this, until 2021. Today's 98 days. 2 days ago was a 100-day march. So when we do the kick off the conference, October 13th through the 17th, 75 days until the end of the year. And so we can finish strong when we bring the right folks together to make it happen. So that's a long-winded answer to say the giver's economy is the person that outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. That's why I like what Sean was saying about getting, if I can say this real quickly, getting rid of fear and doing it anyway. Because here's what I learned in my little short time traveling around this moon a few times, is that you can be fearful and still take action. See, when Sean was talking, that's what I was hearing. You can be fearful and still jump in the freaking water. You can be fearful and still trust the process. You can be fearful and still step into the system. So my message out there, as you were out there, Sean said I encourage him, but he really encouraged me. My message to anyone listening, if you want to jot it down, would be don't ever confuse your current state with your potential. So I have the potential to go get in that water with the sharks, right? I have that potential, and I can be fearful and I can take action. So you think about as you're watching right now, what are you fearful of? Maybe it's starting your own show like Angel and Tina have done. Maybe it's jumping into the water. Maybe it's getting back into the dating scene. Maybe it's getting back into the financial scene. Maybe it's getting back into business after you filed bankruptcy. I've been there, by the way. Maybe it's another relationship. I've had 2 divorces. Okay, I'm on my 3rd marriage, and I'm so happy. Finally got to marry my high school sweetheart. She didn't know she was my high school sweetheart because I was in love with her, and she was a cheerleader, and I wasn't a football player.
You were her stalker, and she didn't know.
I stalked her, yeah. I was there. But anyway,
yeah, you were there.
Back over to you, Tina.
I know you were there.
Yeah.
Shay, how many speakers are going to be on your Comeback Champion Summit?
That's a good question. We're going to bring over 100 speakers that are coming together with one mission over 5 days. One mission, one purpose, one goal, and that's to make a difference in somebody's life. And it's not about the number of speakers, although 100 is, I don't think we ever done that before. It's not about the number, which, although that is very important. It's about the diversity and the quality of the different messages that are coming. I participated and done some events myself when it was all about sales, because I believe that the number one reason companies fail is due to lack of sales. I'm biased as a sales guy, right? But in this case, there's something for someone who wants to improve the quality of their mindset, their belief systems. There's something that somebody want to improve their health. There's something for somebody that they want to improve their business, their marketing skills, improve their automation skills. So I recognize this, and this is one of our core beliefs, is one of the philosophies of the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And here it is: the results that show up in your life are just as important as results that show up in your bank account. I'll say that again. You've heard me say that probably every night on the show, but it's so important. Philosophies drive us. The results that show up in your life, that's why I had the people talk about your life, are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. So that's why we have a number of different folks who raised their hands, Tina, to be there, is because I understand it was different areas. And so I'm going to try to do something we ain't never done before. And that is, we're going to bring multiple messages at multiple times for multiple folks. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's going to be
5 days. That is going to be an epic summit to attend.
Well, yeah. Sean, I imagine that as Shay's doing his mic drop and all of these fabulous phrases, that you have a whole bunch of stuff you'd love to chime in and share. Because you two, it seems like you speak a very similar language.
Yeah, no, I'm super impressed by Shay and really appreciate it. And obviously I'm here, Angel, because you blew people away, including me, on your appearance on The Real Raw. So I'm super fired up to continue to grow our relationship. And what I've put a flag in the ground myself. A couple quick thoughts is I don't want to do business with anybody that's not committed to loving people unconditionally with boundaries. So what if business wasn't head-to-head transactional, but was heart-to-heart, where we actually love people and realize that money is nothing more than an integrous, authentic, loving exchange of value. And so that's a precondition now for me doing business with people. It's like, hey, do you love people? And maybe if you don't love everybody, right? Are you open to the concept that we could love everybody with boundaries, realizing everything everybody does is either an act of love or a cry for help? So that's one fundamental. Second is the fundamental that influence is in fact a superpower. And we change our money, our time, and our magic, anchoring on the fact that there's an exponential difference in Oprah Winfrey's power to influence, Tony Robbins' power to influence, which I've had the privilege of speaking on his stage 7 of his last 8 events. And that crazy man caused me to jump out of an airplane last weekend when I didn't know what was going to happen, or the weekend before last. And that's a whole story for a different day. But it's realizing that influence is a superpower, and it's not linear, it's exponential, the differences. And I'd anchor on this as a final thought. I had the privilege of having been not growing up with any money, had no contacts. And I am financially free. I became financially free early in life by understanding how we can assemble a formula to create the scaling of our heart, our vision, our energy. But this weekend, I took all those fine folks into my grandparents' house. I have my houses, my grandparents have a house. And my grandmother, my grandfather never made more than $25,000 in a year. My grandfather was blind at a young age. My grandmother went back to school at night and worked. And they have a wall that's up in their home. My grandmother passed 2 years ago. And that wall has them in the middle, has their children, their grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, meaning like my children will be their great-grandchildren. And when people walk in, the sense of belonging, connectivity, like we had 60 people in there sharing their tears, the idea of what they didn't have in their own families growing up. And I feel like I'm the richest guy in the entire world because I grew up with love. I grew up with people that cared and made sacrifices and never made money. So no matter where you are financially, there's a choice you have to add magic to the world. And you can acquire as much money as you want within reason. There's no problem people making millions of dollars. That's an incredibly achievable dynamic. But it's worth nothing if you don't have a wall like Nani and Pop. That's what I call my grandparents. Nani and Pop do, with the richest of people that love you. Maybe it's your biological family, or maybe it's your chosen family, and whatever you create. But at the end of the day, we do everything we do to create magic. And the only story that matters in the world is your heart-centered, loving story in the reality that you create, not the reality of anybody around you. So that'd be my final fun.
Okay, well, wow.
We got a little competition over here. I think there's a mic drop award going to Sean Callagy too.
There's room for everybody to have an award here on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. I want to take just a quick moment to recognize the sponsors of the Angel and Tina Morning Show. This show, of course, we started during the pandemic, thinking it would only last for a couple of weeks to be the bright start to your day, to keep people connected during a time where it felt like we were going to lose touch. And now today, Tina, how many episodes are we on now today? 120, 125.
I think we're
something like over 100 episodes. Is it 130? It might be 130. And it's all thanks to our fabulous guests who come on willing to have conversation, to be vulnerable, to be unscripted, to be the bright start to your day. So Shay and Sean, we're so grateful that you are here with us today. But the morning show is also really made possible because of our fabulous sponsors, the Zandra TV network that streams the Angel and Tina Morning Show and hosts our show on 7 global streaming platforms. So all of your smart TV, on-demand TV channels, the Zandra TV network is there. If you've got episodes, content, a podcast, and would love to produce your own TV show, reach out to Zandra TV network at their website, beonztv.com. That's beonztv.com, just to have a discovery call and to start your global affordable marketing experience today. Bliss by the Lake Boutique is our clothing sponsor. They host fashion shows and trunk shows every week on their social media page. So follow them on social media. And if you're feeling just a little overwhelmed, there's so much to do on your to-do list. Well, here's our dirty little secret of how do we get it all done? We don't. Hire a virtual assistant or hire a team of VAs. SonicVA.com is our fabulous sponsor, and they're going to give you 10% discount off your first 40 hours of virtual assistant service when you mention the Angel and Tina Morning Show. SonicVA.com. Check them out, SONICVA.com. And for all of our sponsors and all of our guests, go and tell them you heard about them on the Angel and Tina Morning Show and tell them thank you for giving back and being a part of your day. Those are our sponsors. We're so grateful to them. Shay, I know we talked a lot about the comeback, the Comeback Champion Summit. Did I say that right? Comeback Champion? Yeah, comebackchampionsummit.com. I love that. And so they can register at comebackchampionsummit.com. Is there anything else you want to make sure that they're taking action and doing today?
Sure. There's 2 things that I would suggest that you do. The Comeback Champion Summit. I didn't make the announcement. It is true that it is virtual, by the way. I know y'all were talking early on that some people have some hyper immersion models right now, which do work, which is a live event and then doing a partial virtual, but this is a virtual summit. So the benefit is you can watch from the comforts of your home or in your car or on your mobile devices. So that's pretty cool. Secondly, as you hear about www.comebackchampionsummit.com, do me a favor. You might want to just jot that down in the feed right below if they can do that, because someone out there may be thinking, you know what, it's for me, but I want to share it with my network. So if you're wondering, Shay, can I pay this message forward to someone else? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. How would you do that? Just just go over to your page or go look right below the video and type those words, www.comebackchampionsummit.com. Again, www.comebackchampionsummit.com.
And Sean, how do you want people to connect with you and to follow up and to watch the show that you've got going on every single day?
Yeah, so it's unblindedhuddle.com, unblindedhuddle.com. We're on every day, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And the Real Raw, we have a Real Raw site. If you're interested in watching, awesome, you can find it there. But also, if you're interested in being a guest or having somebody on as a guest or partnering with us and doing your own, love to talk to you. And to be super clear, this is not a network marketing dynamic in any way. This is a partnership dynamic and a model of building out partnership around people using experiential marketing to amplify your message. So it's Real Raw, and every day we're on blindedhuddle.com.
It is, I'll tell you what, it is quite the experience. And and truly it's very heart-centered. And when you hear that they're all lawyers, right? You don't think of lawyers, Sean, as really being heart-centered. You are just definitely changing the traditional opinion of how lawyers do business.
That's one of the big outcomes. And at Callagy Law, my law firm, our saying is that we are fundamentally changing the way clients feel about lawyers one client at a time, urgency and aggression. And with loving respect, yes, I have a law degree. Yes, I own a law firm with 125 people and offices in 5 states. I have never identified myself, though, as a lawyer. I co-create simple, fun, and magical micro distinctions and frictionlessness that free exponential abundance in people's money, time, and magic. I love people. I've coached kids, adults, everybody in between. I love people, and I love people to stop suffering and understand the freedom that they have. And that's what my life stands for. And I thank you for that beautiful acknowledgement.
Okay, so you said, Shay, we're like less than 100 days left in the year. So for some people, like, that's very exciting. So what is it that you're going to be doing, or what are you focused on why is that number so significant to you?
I think number is significant to you because what gets measured gets managed, right? What gets measured gets managed. So as you start measuring the number of days, or you start measuring where you're trying to get to, it allows you to more easily manage it. What I'm focused on myself really over the next 5 days is putting together my 90-day plan. I mean, one of the books that I love, it's one of my favorite books out there, is called The 12-Week Year. If you're hearing it for the very first time, I suggest you go get the book. Just type in 1-2-week year. And the whole concept over the 12-week year is do more in 12 weeks than you would in 12 months. And so it allows you not only just to do a plan, not only collapse time, but more importantly, manage the projects you have in the time that you have. See, one of the things that we know is that over a 90-day stretch, for some folks, sometimes it's no big deal. Nothing happens. Just another 90 days. Like some folks woke up 2 days ago. It was no big deal. They had no concept it was 100 days to go. And some folks over a 90-day window do some high highs and some low lows, some high highs and some low lows. But for some of us, over a 90-day window, we can do more in 90 days than we did the previous 9 months. One, because when this took place back in March 20th, 6 months ago, we didn't have some of the systems and plans we thought we wanted to have that we now have in place now, that we now can activate. So what's in store and why is it significant? Because once we have, quote unquote, the plan, the most second piece to that is being accountable. Because once I tell myself what I'm gonna do and I share it with someone, it just makes me more likely to do it. You probably heard this before. We'll often do more for others than we'll do for ourselves. And so just the fact that I did that puts me and many folks that work together in a position to get more done. So yeah, it's very significant. It's not about the end of the year. It's not about finishing strong. This is a system you can do every 90 days. I'm in sales. So every day is a new day. We wake up every day with the most challenging sale we have to make, which is to ourselves. And I have the biggest sales job in the world because I got to sell entrepreneurs who already know how to sell. At least they tell me that. And so it's a tough sell to make, right? They don't want to stop. So 90 days is very important. So the answer to your question is, if you're out there right now, one of the things that you can do is take a look and say, we're now at December 31st, 2020 as of now. And what's the number one thing I want to see happen? Maybe it's build a stronger relationship. My son gets married tomorrow. So I'm very excited he's getting married on Saturday, but 90 days from now, I would love to still be a part of his life, although because he's living right down the street, him and his wife, right? So how do you establish those relationships? So it's not all about the money. I love what Sean said. It's not always about the money. Don't chase the money, just add value and the money will chase you. So how do you add more value over the next 90 days? So that's what I'm focused on, adding more value than ever before.
How about you, Sean? What are the next 90 days coming up for you guys that you guys are so excited about?
Yeah, I'm looking at adding as much value as I possibly can to the world, like Shay and like yourselves, Angel and Tina. Immensely grateful. And these 90 days, we have a virtual event coming up in October 23, 20, or 24, 25 about unlocking influence as a superpower. And my primary commitment at this juncture is to have the Real Raw platform and the Unblinded Huddle. You know, my program is called Unblinded, to unblind the world, helping people see what they don't see about the superpower of influence and what to do with it. So, like, how many ecosystem partnerships do people have, aka strategic alliances with a twist? How many do you have? How many speaking engagements do you have planned in the next month? How many calls to action are you allowed to make in those speaking engagements? How many sales meetings? To Shay's point, are you counting them? How many sales? Because for us, it's all about leveraging our disposable income. Because until we leverage our disposable income, then we can't contribute in ways with money, at least. Maybe we can with time and energy. And all of these lead into the other. Ecosystem mergers lead to speaking engagements, lead to sales meetings and sales, lead to disposable income, increased contributions, and fun and magic. Those 7 levers. So it's supporting people and seeing how to unlock it. And like, if I gave you a minute right now and you're out there, how would you create a scotoma inside of me or anybody listening that would create a blank spot, open their listening, where they would hear your message so you don't sound like Charlie Brown's teacher saying wah, 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 wah. How do you open that listening so people don't feel pursued, chased, how you're not pitching, hooking, closing, but instead you're building emotional rapport, putting something at stake, conveying your heroic, unique identity authentically, and forming an agreement with another human being on integrous mutual value exchange. It's bringing that message to everybody and all the micro distinctions inside of it. So for you, if we never talk again, like today, the point is, like, where is your influence mastery? Like, where are you in that space? How do you open the listening of people? When somebody says, hey, what's your pitch? Are you comfortable to say, listen, respectfully, yeah, I don't pitch, but I do want to share from my heart the massive value I'm going to add to your world. Just a micro distinction like that, as an example, shifts the energy and the listening of people and makes you become congruently unique. Congruently unique, so people are curious. And that's the beginning. So that's what I'm up to in the next 90 days, is making that reality impact as many people as possible. Angel and Tina.
Well, give your contact information again, Sean, so people can follow up and connect with you.
Yes. So it's through Unblinded. We have an Unblinded website. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. But if you really want to, make a more direct connection, you can send me an email at scallagy@gmail.com. scallagy@gmail.com. But the best, fastest, most efficient way to see if you actually like what's happening and you're enjoying what you're seeing is come on the Unblinded Huddle. Join that community. We have hundreds of people on live every morning, live, commenting, and engaged. See what it's like, see what's happening, experience the community, and then we can take steps from there.
And I get a text message. It's a little earlier than 8:30 for me when that text message comes in. But it is, I signed up for their text message, and you get text reminders, which is always, love. And you said this, systems, Shay, right? It's all about having those systems in place that keep us going and moving. How about you, Miss Tina? Next 100 days, what are you most excited about?
Well, I'm launching my book, Beyond Gratitude, strategies to attract, retain, and build relationships with your clients. Like all these wonderful guys were saying, it is about relationship building. So I'm launching my book, continuing on with the Angel and Tina morning show. And we have a couple of things, you and I, going on that we are about to launch. So you guys gotta keep posted on those things. We have the Connect Summit coming up October 6th. So we are excited about that. We have Michelle Cunningham and Domingo Silvas as our keynote speakers. So you guys make sure you go to the Connect Summit community and sign up for that. But I'm pretty excited that, the 100 days is a big thing too, because, I teach a lot about goal setting and implementation. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking the next 100 days and just trying to do a couple of things that I want to get done before 2021 hits. Like Shay said, put some systems in place, get some funnels in place, build those relationships with my current clients, and launch the last bit of things that I have in that last quarter. So we've been talking about the last 100 days over the last, week, I think. And so many people have these big, huge things going on. So I'm really glad I finalized my book cover last week or this week. And so we're going to get that launched. So I'm excited.
Tina is the queen of building relationships online, and she walks that walk every single day. And there is like this new energy. I think for a while there was a lot of, just concern and confusion about what was happening and when were things gonna, open up and all of that. But there is an energy right now that I just see this rising of so many new businesses have launched during this time at kitchen tables and, and corner desks in bedrooms and, leveraging the access that we have to others online. And it is, I feel there's this energy and we don't even, I think we've just tipped the iceberg over what's going to be coming out. 2021 is full of excitement and energy, but it's started already. I think we're jumping the gun. I think we're jumping the gun for 2021 a little bit.
Internet.
Sean, final thoughts, or no? Am I chopping up? Oh, shit.
Okay, you're good.
You
You're
take
good.
it from here.
It's okay.
I'm good. Sean,
Maybe not.
what else would you like to share with our audience today?
Yeah, I'm just immensely grateful, and there's incredibly successful people on here in all sorts of different ways, like yourselves. Angel, Tina, your energy, your heart-centeredness is just present. So I really am honored and privileged to have been here, and I'd love to do a Real Raw again with like Angel, Tina, Shay. I think we'd have a bunch of fun if that was like cool for you guys. But I really am excited to expand relationships with human beings, because it's, I don't believe that the Unblinded platform isn't about me, right? The Unblinded platform is about influencers influencing influencers, like influencers influencing influencers, to come together, to merge ecosystems, to make the world a greater place.
I like that. Influencers influencing influencers.
Yeah, to merge ecosystems. And I'll even throw this in, for 1 + 1 = 1 trillion relationships. Not like 1 + 1 = 2, like 1 + 1 = 1 trillion, a lot more than 2 relationships to make the world an even greater place. So I'm honored. I'm so thankful for everybody for listening. And I look forward to getting to know everybody's stories more and deepening the relationship. So thank you.
Well, you know what, Sean? I want you to go a whole episode with Shay when you take him down in that Shark Tank.
Well, I wouldn't take anybody down. I want to see Shay lighten the world up. I mean, his emotional, energetic transference is 4 energies of influence: fun, aspirational, goddess, and Zeus. Shay delivers them all. He's one of the most persuasive communicators I've ever encountered, and I'm wildly impressed. And I've seen 1,500 people in like my R&D laboratory called the Real Raw in the last 6 months, and Shay is like incredibly powerful, which all of you know. Like, that's new to me, but he is a rock star, and it's an honor to share the microphone today.
Ooh, look at that, Shay! You're getting some props.
Thank you very much.
You're pushing a little bit.
We're just having fun, baby. We're just having fun. But thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, you know what, Tina? You don't have to watch the show. You could go.
No, thanks.
Come on, Tina. Come on, Tina. You can do this thing.
Oh, thank you. I want to keep my life. I do not want to get eaten by a shark.
You can go. Come on.
Nobody wants you to get eaten by a shark.
And I will send you a card and a gift afterwards telling you how much I love you and how proud of you I am.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
We had some overhead and double overhead waves with riptides, like taking people 1/4 mile in 5 minutes. But it's more fun than that, like hanging out in adventure. So look forward to doing it.
I think I need to take a Xanax.
So, yeah, she's hyperventilating over there. Shay, what else? What do you want to make sure that you leave our audience with today?
I had final comments. One of the ways I love to share is, final comments is that one of our core philosophies at the Happy Entrepreneur Show is that today is my January 1st. And that's one of our core beliefs. For those folks that are hearing that for the very first time, the whole concept is that today is my January 1st, and that, you know, you don't have to wait till it says January 1st on the calendar. You don't have to wait 100 days. You create a January 1st moment right now. Every time you make a decision, it's a do-over, it's a fresh start. Your past does not equal your future. So a January 1st moment is any moment throughout the day, and there's 1,000 moments you get that you make a decision, and that decision can forever change the trajectory of your life. Sean mentioned someone that's very famous who I admire, Tony Robbins, and he always says, make a decision, right? Make a decision. But I'm part of the Puff Daddy generation, by the way. I got a card. We have our own remix version on that, okay? That's just what we do. We got our own remix version. And after you make the decision, my daddy would say, you have to have the discipline. You have to have the discipline to implement the decision you want. So many of you made a decision a long time ago. I'm going to work out. Maybe you didn't do it. You can get back on track. Today is your January 1st. So I'm going to eat the right foods. You didn't do it. Today is your January 1st. I'm going to go after new clients, new customers. I'm going to build this sales funnel. It didn't happen. Today is your January 1st. You can put that in your notes right now. You can write that right below the video, and you can hold that belief that today is my January 1st, because for you, the best is still yet to come. And that's what I will leave you with, that the best is still yet to come. We're going to create those January 1st moments every single chance we get. And that's my belief. And that's what we're going to hold until we get our wings and go home. So back over to you, Tina and Angel. And I love the show. I love your audience. Thanks for having me back, by the way. It's the second time I begged them and said, can I come back, please? They said, Shay, we're going to bring you back. And so it's an honor and a privilege to treat and a treasure. So thanks a lot, ladies. And thank all the viewers who are out there. I saw them. They're working hard. They're making notes out there. Wendy Labatt's out there. I'm on different pages. They're making notes. They're making comments. We love every one of you. I know Angel and Tina appreciate you. I put a plug in for them because they're amazing. They really are.
Well, we appreciate you coming back on our show. You bring a lot of great energy, and we just love having you on.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you say that today is your January 1st.
Yeah, today is my January 1st.
So what are you going to do today to start something new? What are you?
Then after you make the decision, which Tony says is in the decisions, these things happen, you must have the discipline to do the things you know you should do. It's all about taking the action. So, you know, you don't have to believe anymore. You don't have to think anymore. Just go take the action. That's why I like what Sean said. Sean said, we're going to go jump. We're going to go do this thing. We're going to, after we believe and sing Kumbaya, we're going to go do it. And that's what I took away from Sean. That's what I admire. It's about taking action.
Yeah, definitely. Angel, what are you going to do in the next 100 days?
Girl, I am so excited about the 100 days. I don't even know where my enthusiasm for it is coming from. You know, we had this event that we tried to pull off yesterday. I mean, we did pull it off. It was just a unique, you know, just a unique to have.
It was a different way. It's okay.
It was. But this morning I woke up, I told my husband, I said, I want to build a studio. I want to build a studio where we can do all the recordings for all of our clients. So they could record their audiobooks, they could record their teachable or their online courses, they could do their sizzle reels. I want to build something where they can come and we can create all these media assets. And God bless him, he said, okay. Like, he's like, Angel, whatever you want to do. He's like,
let's do it.
He's like, okay, yeah. So we are just, we've got a lot of things coming down the pike. There's a lot of energy. I think just new ideas, new people that we have met. You know, Sean says he's had over 1,500 people that have come through.
Wow.
You know, his unblinded and the what is it called? The raw shoot.
The real raw.
The real raw. That was so much fun. And afterwards I'm like, okay, I had no idea what I was walking into. I didn't
she called
really
me.
know what that experience was going to be like.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea what I just did. And she had so much excitement and energy. I was like, oh my gosh, really? And she was like, yeah. I was like, how did you do? And she was like, I did great.
She did awesome.
It didn't die. There were no sharks.
No, you did awesome. So awesome.
Thank you, Sean. So excited that you came on the show and hanging out with us this morning on your way to the airport, and just making such an impact and doing it in such an authentic way. And I know that matters to every one of us here, and I know that matters to everyone who's listening today. Can we, it can be done. It can be done. We can be heart-centered. We can do it authentically, and we can give back and make an even bigger impact when we stay in that space. So one last time, Sean, your call to action, please.
Call to action is to realize that your time blocking, which might not be the most sexy, fun, and cool thing to think about, your time blocking, without it, nothing happens. And build your ecosystem partnerships that put you in front of the optimal audience, your optimal avatar en masse, with the right authentic value add and then call to action. And there's nothing that can possibly stop you. Most people tend to gravitate to the people closest to them, their friends, their family, their comfort zone. Go create relationships with your ideal avatars that you can add value to and take it from there. That'd be the call to action.
Whoa, he's talking my language.
Shay Brown, call to action, please.
Sure. I would suggest you head on over to comebackchampionsummit.com. Again, www.comebackchampionsummit.com. We're going to leave you with a resource. And the resource is going to help you execute the vision you have for yourself, or the vision you have for your loved ones, or the vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And doesn't take resources. So the folks that are coming together, part of collaboration, and Angel's participating, Tina's participating, they'll be there sharing their message. You get an opportunity to get the resources that you need so you can go help someone else. So the call to action for you would be go over to www.comebackchampionsummit.com. Just follow the directions, hit the button, no credit card, no Zelly, no Cash App, just you showing up and you sharing that message with someone else.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm Angel Tussey. I am your media matchmaker. If you've got news, let's alert the press. And you can get started with a complimentary media starter kit at my website, makeyourbigimpact.com. That's makeyourbigimpact.com. We are starting today. We are hosting our last Media Mastery Bootcamp of the year. We kick it off tonight and it happens tomorrow. If you want any more information about the Media Mastery Bootcamp that we are hosting this weekend, you can text the word ANGEL, ANGEL, to the number 26786. That's ANGEL to the number 26786. I'll get you details to attend our last Media Mastery Bootcamp of the year, putting together all the media assets that you need to go and create all that exposure that you are looking for to hit those goals that you have on your list for these next 100 days.
Well, I am excited to be with you for the next 3 days on that Media Mastery Bootcamp. So if you guys want to join us, it's not too late. I'm Tina Torres, your client retention expert, otherwise known as the gratitude specialist. And if you are struggling with building your audience, finding the right clients, or even retaining those clients that you already have, I have a complimentary guide that'll help you grow your audience organically, online and offline, connect and nurture those relationships authentically, like we were talking about today, and take those relationships and turn them into paying clients. And you can grab your guide if you text the word connection to 26786. That is the word connection to 26786. We are Angel and Tina on the Angel and Tina Morning Show. We are so grateful to you, our audience, for being our loyal fans. And we hope we brought a bright start to your day. We will see you guys on Monday. Have a fabulous weekend, guys. Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.